One of President Bongbong Marcos' advisors has proposed a solution to the rice shortage issue in the country. Here's MJ Mondejar with the report.
During a press conference in Quezon City, Presidential Advisor for Poverty Alleviation, Secretary Larry Gadon, laid out suggestions for President Bongbong Marcos to address the rice problem in the Philippines. He stated that his office would draft a policy recommendation to restore the former authority of the National Food Authority or NFA, as it was during the time of former President Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr. During Marcos Sr.'s era, the NFA purchased rice from farmers at high prices, allowing the government to control the rice prices. This encouraged more farmers to cultivate rice after receiving substantial income.
Noong panahon ni Presidente Marcos Sr. ay isa yan sa role na ginagawa ng NFA. And nakita naman natin noon, hindi tayo nagkaproblema ng matindi sa bigas at sa presyo rin ng bigas noong panahon na yon.
It is said that before Marcos Sr.'s time, it was the Chinese traders who controlled the rice prices in the Philippines. However, this changed when the late president established the National Grains Authority, which later became the National Food Authority. During the 70s, the government arrested hoarders and price manipulators. The Defense Department also managed the distribution of rice and corn.
Masasabi ko yan sapagkat buhay na ako nung time na yon.
However, with the enactment of the rice tariffication law in 2019, the NFA's mandate to import rice was abolished. The private sector then was given unlimited authority to dominate rice imports to increase supply in the country. One of Gadon's suggestions to President Marcos Jr. is for the government to regain control over affordable rice and leave the importation of premium rice to the private sector.
Kasi yung mga negosyante naman, I'm sure that tutubo naman sila doon sa mga premium rice sapagkat marami rin naman kasi ang ating mga kababayan na gusto din yung premium rice.
During the peak of the 2021 election campaign, then frontrunner Bongbong Marcos expressed his desire to restore the NFA's role as top regulator in the country's rice supply. In fact, the president mentioned suspending the rice tariffication law.
At present, Secretary Gadon is finalizing his policy recommendation and will be submitted to the President as soon as possible. Once the President agrees with his policy recommendation, farmers expect a better agriculture in the Philippines. For Ganabibal of Philippines, MJ Mondejar, SM9 News.
President Bongbong Marcos encouraged the Singaporean business community to invest in the renewable energy in the Philippines. He also laid down the government's efforts to lower the electricity prices in the Philippines during the 10th Asian Summit in Singapore. Sigrid Castañeda has the details.
President Bongbong Marcos attended the Asia Summit in Singapore on Thursday, wherein he talked about the Philippines' readiness to cooperate, especially in the development of an equal and sustainable global community. On the sidelines, PBBM urged the Singaporean business community to consider the Philippines as their investment hub for renewable energy. During the roundtable meeting held with business leaders, Marcos also laid out the government's efforts to lower the electricity prices in the Philippines. According to the president, investors can now have 100% equity in the exploration, development, and utilization of energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower. Marcos also said that the additional investment will speed up the country's achievement of its long-term climate targets. The chief executive also shared that Singapore ranks 5th among the top destinations for Philippine products. Last Wednesday, Marcos delivered a speech at the 10th Asia Summit Fireside Chat in Singapore as the first sitting Philippine president to address the Milken Institute's Asia Summit. He expressed his gratitude to the Institute for participating in the Philippine government's goal of creating a healthy business environment as well as opportunities for all. PBBM also recalled the relationship between the Philippines and Singapore, which started at the people-to-people level, and this became the foundation upon which both countries built bilateral arrangements, partnerships, and alliances. PBBM further stated that the investment in the Philippines is in line with global measures to address the impact of climate change and achieve food security. Furthermore, many communities will also benefit from more jobs brought by foreign investments, particularly in the fields of manufacturing and tourism. President Marcos emphasized his administration's 8-point socio-economic agenda that aims to strengthen the continuous recovery and high growth of the economy, as well as the development of priority industries. Reporting this has been Sigrid Castañeda, SMNI News.
The region of Xinjiang proudly showcased its modern agricultural machinery touted to be efficient during harvest. Let's get to know more about this with Jade Calabroso's visit to one of the largest manufacturing companies in China.
We are amazed every time we see modern tools used in farming and harvesting in the Philippines. Because as many always say, as a country with many agricultural lands, the Philippines needs modern machinery to improve our harvesting methods. Here in Urumqi, Xinjiang, China, the region touts modern equipment used for harvesting. These modern machines are hyper-efficient and surely made farmers work much easier.
Narito tayo ngayon sa Xinjiang Machinery Research Institute kung saan ginagawa yung mga corn harvesting machine. Isa ito sa pinakamalaking manufacturing company dito sa China.
Built in 2011, the Xinjiang Machinery Research Institute is a China-based company primarily focused on developing, manufacturing, and distributing special equipment. With 700 workers, the institute can manufacture up to 25 sets of machines per day. 20% of its workers came from different ethnic groups in Xinjiang, including the Uyghurs. Among them is 22-year-old Aikerimu Dawuti, an Uyghur who has been working with the company as the head of the platform for 2 years. Aikerimu Dawuti earns 5,000 to 6,000 yuan, or more than 39,000 to 46,000 pesos per month. The company's main products include aviation vehicle structural parts, spacecraft structural parts, engine structural parts, corn harvester, silage harvesting machines, straw feed harvesting equipment, large-scale harvesting equipment, plow, special equipment for processing agricultural products, fruit equipment, and economic crop harvesting equipment, and so on. The institute is also involved in providing machine processing services and technical support, and most of its products are distributed in the domestic market or within China.
Reporting from Urumqi, Xinjiang, China. For God and my beloved Philippines, this has been Jade Calabroso, SMNI News.
SMNI and journalists coming from various countries worldwide had the opportunity to visit and explore the largest land port zone in Xinjiang, China. Jade Calabroso has the rest of the story.
The city of Urumqi, Xinjiang is one of China's trade hubs. Here lies one of the largest international land port zones in the country. Its construction began in 2015. Covering an area of 67 square kilometers, the Urumqi International Landport Zone is a landmark project in the development of the Silk Road economic belt. Its primary goal is to strengthen trade and connections by land from China to Asian, European, and African countries. The core principle of the Silk Road economic belt is improving roads, railways, and infrastructure for trade that can contribute to the development of countries along its route.
Narito tayo ngayon sa Urumqi International Landport Zone kung saan makikita na natin kung paano nililipat yung mga container mula dito hanggang sa mga platforms.
According to local officials, the land port has experienced rapid growth due to increased trade in the past year. The number of trucks and cargo trains departing from China to Central Asian and European countries has increased significantly. More than 20 China-Europe Railway Express services operate through the land port, allowing over 200 types of goods, including textiles and machine parts, from China to reach more than 19 countries and 26 cities. The land port area plans to launch more China-Europe Railway Express trains and expand trade routes, especially towards countries in Central Asia and Europe.
Reporting from Urumqi, Xinjiang, China. For God and my beloved Philippines, this has been Jade Calabroso, SMNI News.